1 in 3 people over the age of 65 will develop dementia. There are currently over 800,000 people living with dementia in the UK. More than half of the people with dementia in the UK do not receive a diagnosis. Dementia is not a natural part of ageing. It can start at any age.
My calculations were, if you know 52 people, one of them will have dementia.
This film has been made to help you understand more about dementia. You will hear from a range of health professionals. We have also interviewed people who have lived with the condition: Mike and Ivy, Reg and Maureen, Linda and Geordie, and Sue and Ian. We'll hear about their experiences and advice. This film will define what dementia is and its causes, through to what support is available and things you can do to try and alleviate the symptoms. We hope this film will answer some of the many questions you may have on the subject.
The word dementia is used to describe a set of symptoms which includes things like memory loss, problems with reasoning and communicating, and mood disturbance. We no longer accept dementia as a natural part of getting older, as we now know that there are certain diseases that cause the symptoms, and that not everybody develops these symptoms and diseases as they age. So dementia is an umbrella term for a number of different diseases, the most common being Alzheimer's disease. Another common cause is furring up or blockages in the blood vessels in the brain, also known as vascular dementia. And there are other more rare causes, such as dementia associated with Parkinson's disease. Early symptoms and signs of dementia include things like problems with recent memory, difficulties managing the daily routine, feeling confused, and struggling with anger and depression and anxiety in response to the forgetfulness. Often it's those nearest to us that notice these changes first. It's important that you discuss concerns with your GP if you or someone close to you are concerned about your memory or recent difficulties with feeling confused. Your GP is likely to organise some blood tests in order to check your physical health before considering a referral to a memory service if dementia is suspected.
Once referred to the local memory service, you'll be visited by a member of the team at home. They will carry out an assessment which will include some formal testing. This is nothing to worry about and helps to identify where you have problems and what could be the cause.
Once information has been gathered about your physical health, you may be referred for a brain scan. This is most likely to be a CT brain scan at your local hospital. This scan will provide further information about the health of your brain and give some indication as to what disease may be underlying the dementia symptoms. This is important as the management, particularly in terms of medication that can be used in the future, is determined by which disease is felt to be underlying the symptoms.
Maureen was absent-minded, and a couple of things she said, I can't remember, I forgot.
The thing is, when you live with somebody all the time, the changes are very gradual and you therefore don't really notice them that much. So he more or less diagnosed himself. So off we went to the doctors, who then confirmed it.
We used to notice little things. Ivy would forget where the knives went after she washed up. She'd forget how to switch the washing machine on. Silly little bits like that. Till finally she said, I'll better go and see about my memory.
His personality changed and just lots of little things changed, and I think I then went into denial. Nothing was happening.
Every person is unique and dementia affects people differently. No two people will have symptoms that develop in exactly the same way. Some of the most common difficulties people may experience include increased difficulty with performing familiar everyday tasks and activities, such as coordinating dressing, preparing meals, and keeping track on paying household bills. You may experience difficulty with recognising familiar everyday objects and what they're used for, such as using the kettle to boil an egg or putting things in unusual places, such as the iron in the fridge or your keys in the coffee pot. The person with dementia may become lost or disorientated in familiar places. They also may become very passive, sleeping more than usual, or appear disinterested in their previous hobbies or interests.
Changes in communication may be one of the first things that people with memory problems and their families notice. Whilst this will vary from person to person, it may include any of the following. Difficulties understanding or following what people are saying to them, especially in larger social gatherings, which may make them reluctant to join in. Another common problem is muddling past and present information, and also repeating the same question several times, even though they may have just been given the answer. Problems may also arise remembering the names of people, places or objects, or using the wrong name without realising it.
People are helpful. You don't have to stay at home.
But on a Sunday we usually go to one of the local pubs where Maureen knows quite a few of my mates.
We have a husband and wife day. Regardless of what we're doing, it'll be slow and it'll be together.
We get out. We get out as much as we can. Then I found out, oh dear, it's getting me out meeting people. So I'm not isolated at home anymore. We're trying to keep life going over.
So we go to church together and we've got a lot of friends through church. And some of those friends take him out to play golf, for example. Our new granddaughter, we look after her twice a week.
The main thing is with people with dementia, you're going to have problems. They may be similar to other people. They may not. But there is always a way around that problem.
There are no treatments that can cure the diseases underlying dementia. However, there are medications available which can help to alleviate the symptoms, and there are also lifestyle changes to help improve physical health and in turn have a beneficial effect on brain functioning. The drug treatments that are available have only been shown to be beneficial in certain types of diseases such as Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's dementia. These drugs are not a cure, and mostly they do not improve the memory, but rather they may help to slow down the deterioration in the symptoms, enabling people with dementia to live as independently as possible for as long as possible. There is also good evidence that cutting down on alcohol intake has a positive effect on physical health and in turn on brain functioning, along with taking gentle exercise such as walking, gardening or swimming. Also, reducing cholesterol by improving the diet and stopping smoking can have a beneficial effect on physical health and on brain functioning.
Dementia affects people in different ways, and each person will find their own approach to dealing with the changes that occur. You're not alone in facing dementia. Here are some simple and practical approaches that other people with dementia and their carers have found useful. Be positive. Concentrate on the things you can do instead of the things that have become too difficult. Carers, to encourage a person's independence in enabling them and not disabling them by taking over and doing everything. Use memory strategies such as a diary, calendar or notice board to help keep track of what's happening day to day, using pictures or written labels on cupboards and drawers to remind you where things belong. Having a box or a basket where you can keep important items such as a handbag, wallet, keys or your glasses. Make a routine for yourself. You may find it easier to keep track if you have a regular way of doing things and a particular time to do them. Maintain a sense of humour. It really does help you get by. And finally, if you get frustrated when things are not going well, blame the illness, not yourself.
And I said, I think I'll make somebody a nice husband, doing all the cooking and the ironing and things. And she said, you probably would. So I thought, well, that's answered that. But I said, is there any chance of me and you, perhaps? And she said, no. Didn't you? You've got
to have a good humour. You've got to have humour. We've been together for a while.
About 53 years, isn't it? 54 years.
Blimey.
I had black hair then. You've always been blonde, I don't know any other colour.
No, there's no other colour.
Fortunately, there are medications which can slow up the process. not going to cure it, but those medications did slow it up. To such an extent that in 2007 we were able to go for a 3-month trip, Dubai, Australia, New Zealand, Bangkok and home.
There are devices and assistive technology that can act as memory prompts and reminders by providing visual, verbal and audio cues. Clocks and calendar clocks provide information about the day, date and time. Picture telephones can assist with maintaining contact with family and friends by pressing the appropriate photograph to make a call. Medication dispensers can help a person to remember when to take their tablets. Item locator devices can help locate commonly mislaid items in the home, such as keys, wallets, handbags, or even TV remote controls. Sensors can monitor the activities of the person. These can detect when someone is getting out of bed or chair, entering or leaving a building, or when they've had a fall. These sensors can be used to alert a carer or monitoring centre that a person requires immediate support or assistance.
An important aspect about the progression of dementia is that a person with dementia may lose the capacity to make and express their wishes, choices and decisions. This may lead to poor care and treatment. Advanced care planning offers the opportunity for the person with dementia to express their wishes, make their choices and plan for the type of care that they would like. This will ensure that the person with dementia lives with dignity to the end of their life.
My husband was diagnosed with Alzheimer's 3.5 years ago, and one thing he was very fortunate with, he's a professional musician, and music goes much later than words do, so he was able to keep on playing amazingly well. So if anybody has Alzheimer's and they can play any sort of instrument, encourage them to do it or to sing. We went to Singing for the Brain, and that was absolutely lovely.
As a carer, here are some tips you may find useful to help you communicate. Firstly, think about the environment. Reduce distractions and background noise, and try to give the person your full attention. Don't give too much information at once, break it down into smaller chunks and then allow extra time for them to process and respond. Try to avoid using phrases such as, "oh, you remember," as this will highlight their memory problems and could lead to a loss of confidence. Finally, don't correct their errors or contradict what they've said. Although this may seem unnatural and goes against our common sense approach to want to help someone get their facts right, with dementia, this can be counterproductive, as you are challenging their reality and way of seeing the world and may lead to arguments and distress.
Yeah, we have the odd sort of a disagreement, but I mean, it's nothing.
I never win.
Quite a few carers assessments over the last few years. I have found them very helpful to offload as much as anything else and to talk to somebody, usually a social worker, who is not there to criticise me. They're there to see what they can do to help me in my role as a carer.
Because as a carer, you really need other people to talk to, and you can watch then what happens with other people and learn from each other. So the group of carers that I belong to have really been some of the most important people in my life for the last 3 years and have really helped me to survive.
I think it's very important for the carer to continue doing as much of the things that they did before as they possibly can. If you hold a glass of water out for a long time, your arm gets tired. It's not very heavy, but you can't do it for hours and hours and hours. So you put it down just for a few minutes and then you can pick it up again. So carers do need a break, a regular break, just so that they can do their own thing.
There's lots of different groups around that you can join, either as just a carer or as a couple.
There is a wide variety of support available for people with dementia and their carers. In this chapter, we will have a look at some of the help available. A sitting service is where an organisation provides someone to come to your home and sit and talk with the person with dementia for a few hours, therefore giving the carer a valuable break. Day centres and lunch clubs offer the opportunity to meet and socialise with other people. Dementia cafes offer a great place to meet other people in the local area and to discuss and learn more about the condition. Carers groups allow carers to meet and support one another and to discuss their experiences. Dementia support workers have expert knowledge and work with people with dementia, relatives, friends and carers to improve the understanding of dementia and offer support and advice. They can visit people in their home to give emotional support, talk through the illness, explain any issues and provide coping strategies. There will come a point when you will need extra help and support to keep you well and safe at home. Social care services will work with you and your family to help you decide and arrange what kind of support is best for you. Local authorities are responsible to help keep you safe and well and may agree to pay for some or all of the care and support you need depending on your financial circumstances. Social care support can take many forms, either in your home or in the community.
Don't be afraid of asking for help. It's there and it's given freely. I think one of the main messages is the help is there. Get yourself into the loop.
Don't try and push it under the carpet. Just be open about it.
Find out what's going on around them. There is so much help there.
I still think you need other people.
Yeah.
Even like the Alzheimer
we definitely
people.
Need other people.
And your
like
people.
Our friends.
And there is much more understanding of people with dementia out there.
I'm happy that Maureen has been diagnosed early. The medication has changed. But if I'd have just sat back and tried to deny it, that anything is wrong, I don't know where we would have been.
No.
And remember, you're still a couple. They're still there. Talk to them, do the memory books, get photos out.
Be open, completely open to people. Yes, my wife, my husband, my mum, my dad has dementia. Dementia is not a natural process of growing old. It is a disease now becoming recognised.